God, place you in my life. Have you ever wondered why God allows seasons where you can see what's next? Several months went by. Lloyd and I kept talking, sharing our personal lives, our daily routines, and slowly getting to know each other on a deeper level. While he was busy working, I was busy doing my internship. 6 months later, Lloyd asked me to be his girlfriend. And of course, I said yes. But before that, I had one very important question for him. I asked, "Do you know how to cook?" He said, "Yeah." And just like that, I said, "Okay, you can be my boyfriend." Honestly, for some reason, that was the only requirement I could think at that moment. Nothing else. A few months into dating, things started getting hard. Long distance is not easy. His night was my morning, and my morning was his night. There were times would I would sit there and wonder, how is this even going to work? I want to connect what I'm going through right now in scripture, James 1 verse 2 to 4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you're faced trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. I know trials are shaping you, not breaking you. And when you finally make it through, you can look back and tell to yourself, wow, I made it. It wasn't easy, but because I trusted God to walk through it with me. I didn't have to carry it all on my own, so I had no reason to fear because God was with me the whole way. Let me break it down. The scripture. Count it all joy when you meet trials. This does not mean you have to feel happy about pain. Count is a deliberate choice to change your perspective. Joy comes from knowing God has a purpose for the pain, even when the situation hurts. The testing of your faith. Trials act like a furnace used to purify gold. The fire does not destroy the gold. It burns away the impurities so your true faith shines through, produces steadfastness, patience, and endurance. Waiting and struggling build spiritual muscle. You cannot develop endurance without having something hard to endure. That you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. Perfect does not mean flawless. In the original Greek language, it means reaching full maturity of your ultimate purpose. God uses trials to grow your from a fragile believer into someone strong, stable, and deeply rooted. Several months again went by. Lloyd and I kept talking, sharing pieces of our lives little by little, but the struggle is real. There were nights when the Wi-Fi at home would go down in the middle of the heavy rainstorm, and my grandma and I would go out late at night to a cafe just so I could talk to Lloyd. That's how much our connection meant to me. There were also times when we would be chatting at my house and I would accidentally fall asleep in the middle of our conversation because of school exhaustion and everything else I was carrying. The next morning, I'd wake up and realize he had already left the chat room. And I would feel so bad because I never meant to doze off on him, but I never told him the real reason behind why I was always so tired. I didn't want him to feel like he wasn't one of my priorities because he was. Through it, through all of it, he mattered so much to me. But everything I was carrying, I kept it to myself and silently pushed through. There were so many sacrifices, so many struggles, and moments when it felt so hard to keep going. I had to spend a lot of nights in prayer, asking the Lord to give me strength, to carry me when I felt weak, to help me endure, and to keep our relationship strong even in the moments when loving each other from a distance felt so difficult. Then one day, Lloyd finally asked me, "Why are you always so sleepy and tired?" And I had no choice but to tell him everything about my school situation. There were plenty of times when sleep was no longer an option for me because I wanted to make time for you. I had more schoolwork than I had time in my hand. And that's the sad truth of it. I was running on exhaustion, trying to balance everything, sacrificing rest just so I could hold on to us. After hearing my answer, the only thing he said was, "Why didn't you tell me sooner? I'd rather you rest than try to do everything at one time." So I answered him back, "I was afraid you might not understand." Then he said something I will never forget. "When I'm in the middle of surgery, doing my job, you patiently wait for me to finish so we can talk. You can understand the nature of my job, and that's one of the reasons I love you so much. So what makes it any different? If you can understand mine, then I should understand yours too." If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can stay updated on my latest videos. And if you have a little extra time, go ahead and check out my other videos too. It would really help to grow my channel. Now, let's get back to the rest of my story. That moment hit me so deeply because it reminded me that love isn't just about being there in the easy moments. It's about understanding each other in the hard ones too. Then one day, everything changed. My grandfather suddenly yelled at me and hit me on the head, telling me I needed to cut back on my time talking to Lloyd. Just like that, out of nowhere. One time he even cut my phone call in the middle of our conversation. That same night, I told Lloyd what happened. I said, I don't know what's going on with my grandfather, but he told me I can't talk to you like I used to. Lloyd was shocked. He said, then tell him if I can't talk to you anymore, I'll stop sending money home. I was so angry and hurt in that moment that I told, I just want to leave this house now and be with you. I don't even want to finish college anymore. But he paused and said words that calmed my heart. That's not what I want for you. Finish your school. You cannot just quit. It's for your future. I truly believe God gave Lloyd to me. He didn't let Lloyd be affected by my broken situation or choose the easy shortcut just to get it over with. Instead, God used Lloyd to show me that true love knows how to wait. True love looks out for each other, not just for the moment, but for each other's good and for the future you're building together. Even in the middle of my anger, Lloyd was thinking about what was best for me. He calmed me down after we talked. I went to my grandfather and told him what Lloyd had said. And suddenly, my grandfather changed his mind. But the truth is, my grandfather and I never close. Growing up, he hurt me deeply. He would beat me with whatever he could grab and act like it was normal to act that way. My body would be swollen and bruised because of it. He even hurt my grandma and my aunties too, especially if he's in the bad mood. Because of that, our relationship was never good. That pain never really left me. Then our 1 year anniversary came, and for the first time, Lloyd flew to the Philippines. So we could finally meet on person. I didn't know what to expect, but my first impression was this. He was a genuinely good man, respectful, sweet, and caring to everyone around him. He stayed in a hotel because my house wasn't equipped for what he needed. We went on dates, traveled here and there, and sometimes spent time with my family. Before I knew it, 21 days had gone by so fast, and then it was time for him to leave. We dropped him off, stayed for a little while, and then left. Not long after, I found myself clutching my phone, sobbing, texting him how much I was going to miss him, completely forgetting he was still at the airport. Silly me. When I got back to the hotel, I saw the old tissue box and the unused clothes pick he had left behind, and somehow those little things made me cry. even harder. I felt so lost. Then, beside the stand, I found a tiny letter he had written for me. It said he would be back. That's when it really hit me. I truly love this man. But with love came fear. What if he doesn't come back? What if he really doesn't want my family? What if everything I'm holding on to falls apart? Doubt crept into my mind when I should have known that when God gives you something, you trust the process, you trust His plan. You don't try to control everything with your own hands. But in that moment, all my humanity could see was what was right in front of me. For a second, fear got louder than faith, and then I pulled myself together, shook it up, and kept going. I didn't let the moment break me. I carried on. I leaned on to God one more time. But deep down, I held on to the one thing He told me. He will be back. And when He got home, we did what we always did. We kept talking again through the phone and computer, holding on to love across the distance, one conversation at a time. Stay tuned for the next part of my story. It highlights my graduation, Lloyd's proposal, our engagement, getaway party, and Lloyd coming to pick me up. And trust me, don't miss the little drama along the way. I still have so much to share about our relationship, including the moments when for a second I decided to give up Lloyd. But I know God interfered and still put us together, regardless on the circumstances we have. I'll see you in the next video.